was established in 1964. So we are already completed 62 years of existence. It's a big thing to do that continuously. This is it. And the entire paper industry, irrespective of their size, irrespective of their raw materials, irrespective of their location pan India, are part of IPPTA. We have more than 2,000 plus members, which are either the from paper industry as a paper technologist or chemical suppliers or technology suppliers, from academics. The entire paper industry is being represented in IPPTA. And as a part of our programs, we hold almost 3 seminars at different locations all over India every year besides regular publication of technical papers and various technical inputs. And we keep informing members on almost bi-weekly bulletins on technical and technologies being discussed. So it's a pretty vibrant organization and sustaining for us almost 62 years. In Bangalore, it's not the first time we have come to Bangalore, but it was a long time back that so there was a gap that we came after many years. Bangalore has been a very, very favorite destination for IPPTA also. So this is all about what IPPTA does.
Lulu for this very important topic amongst pulp and paper industry. And in coming 2 days, we will be discussing some great technical inputs by various different mills, who have done some good job in terms of bioresources, both energy and raw material front. So we will be discussing that. You see plastic bottles lying around, you see glasses breaking, but paper is one thing, that quietly does its job, goes back to the nature. Have you noticed that? Even a waste paper, we are claiming that 70% of the paper is made by waste paper. So that is all being recycled. Only part, the concerning part is that we don't recover it nicely. We mix it with the plastic, which is the culprit, and then we have got to segregate that to make paper out of it. Imagine, gentlemen, a paper can be recycled 6 to 7 times again to make a good quality paper. 6 to 7 times. So telling about some results, the Power Ministry through BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, they selected few sector-wise. They selected few designated paper plants and they assigned a fixed energy consumption norms. Okay, and that was the target was that it is to be achieved within a specified time. That was to be monitored every year or every 3-year cycle. And imagine, gentlemen, all paper industries who were designated and who were given these targets would achieve that. So it's not only monitoring or some legislation coming in. Paper industry has done its part for a very long time in terms of energy. Similarly, for environment like sustainability and bioresources we talk, Confederation of Indian Industry, they came out with a grading of rating the companies for various environmental projects, green efforts, right? And you will be surprised that there are mills in India, paper plants, who are platinum plus rated in terms of energy. It is not, we are not telling about ourselves. These are the Power Ministry through BE and Confederation of Indian Industry who have conducted these studies through a detailed on-the-spot inspection and come out with these results in terms of bioresources, how it is being, what renewable, because that is a major criteria, what renewable energy resources we use. So in terms of integrated pulp and paper plants, a black liquor is something which is a waste actually, but we generate energy out of it. We recycle that in our boilers. We have modified our boilers to suit the various wastages that we generate and monitored through various agencies, and there are platinum plus rated companies in India. Platinum plus, that means globally competitive. It's globally competitive in terms of their environment and sustainability front. So this is what in fact the only thing is we would like to appeal you through your medium we want to exercise waste this paper it has to be handled with some care. right? We just throw it along with that. This paper, is useful. It can be recycled into a very good quality paper again. And as I mentioned, 6 to 7 times. So only thing is that segregation part, and the paradox situation is that, we have to import this waste paper. That we call it, the trash, we are importing waste paper from abroad to make paper out of it. So the good thing would be propagate that the paper is to be handled, even waste paper, if that can be properly segregated and collected, we are there to make use of it. So that is all a brief from me. I will please request our president. Sorry, sir, you are immediately coming. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and I welcome you all for this press meeting that we are holding for our IPPTA AGM and seminar that we are going to hold tomorrow and day after in the very beautiful city of Bengaluru. And the theme that we've chosen is very, very relevant, which is the rightful use of raw materials, and both in paper making and for energy generation. So I think this is a resource which is very, very valuable for all of us, and the fact that it is renewable adds to the multi-usability of this material. You can renew it, grow it again and again, use it to either make paper or to use it in boilers for energy generation. So I think it's something which the earth is providing us as a huge amount of value, and we as people around it should not really treat it as a waste or look at it as a waste, but it's a very valuable material that can generate a lot of income both for farmers and for the industry.
It's a very, very hot topic today, or the topic of the day, that we have to make the industry sustainable with the bioresources. Even today, if you talk about the industry, let it not be only in India, globally, 50 to almost 60% of the energy is from the coal, fossil fuel. And in India, almost 60 to 70% of the industries are operating with fossil fuel coal, fully or in some parts, in a mixture. Now the government has taken initiative that the fossil fuel reduction has to happen and the coal consumptions have to come down. So many mills in the north, many mills, in India have started using a lot of, the waste, we call it as a solid waste or, hazardous waste, and we call it as a residue derived fuel, RDF type of oils which have started coming. Conference is going to tell, other than the wood pulp, what are the other sources available? It is not only the hardwood, there are bagasse, there are wheat straw, there are rice straw. Researches are going on in bananas and other leaves and stems and things like that, and there are papers going to be published on this. So it's going to be a very win-win situation for the industries, for the economy sector, for the machinery manufacturers, and also for all the research institutes who are doing it for the last 1 decade. And I would only say that we are excited to have this conference here in Bangalore, which is a very happening city, and the most advanced and happening city and high-tech city. And we are very happy and excited to have this the hot topic conference in the hot city Bangalore. Okay, so I wish everybody in the conference a great success, and it is going to be a very, very happy learning session for all of us. And the industry is becoming, for the people to understand, whosoever is remotely or directly or indirectly connected to paper industry, pulp and paper industries, that the industry is turning into a very, very, very sustainable industry. It is a green and sustainable industry. So I wish all the success. Let's have a great conference. Thank you so much.
Days, whatever the IPPTA contribution related to the Indian paper industry, the topics are much more concerned with the problem being faced by the Indian paper industry, and that you can say the every paper industry has to take part in this type of conferences where number of technical papers are being basically printed and published in the Indian Technical Conference IPPTA. as well as the, you can say, the some of, you can say, maybe 50 to 60% papers are being presented in terms of the conference, where industry delegates as well as the India's industry experts are being basically part of that, you can say, the conference, and they take advantage of this technical brief as well as the technical side of these topics. So that you can say the maybe much more impacting the our scenario, Indian paper, pulp and paper technical experts as well as the industry. One part related to the that, because it related to the renewable energy, lot of work the Indian paper industry as well as the lot of, you can say, the side related to the business partners are being associated with that type of systems. They suggested this system based on the Indian, you can say, the location wise as well as the industry capacity wise, that you can say the give the one idea related to the how best they can minimize their variable cost of that product as well as somehow minimize the fossil fuel consumption. Okay. In this conference, as already said, approximate 400, you can say, the delegates are being, you can say, the joining this conference, and almost maybe 32 papers are being, you can say, the printed or published in this conference, and maybe 18 papers are being basically presented in these coming 2 days, and that give basically boost to the Indian paper industry so that they can utilize their systems and how best they can utilize this topic related to the sustenance and, you can say, the use of renewable energy in their manufacturing process.
That IPPTA members are exploring and have been successful so far.
You are talking about the hardwood pulp.
Yeah, agro pulp or non-wood pulp.
Yeah. Now the thing is, earlier, we will start from the water. Earlier, the pulping process of the cooking and washing and then bleaching, let it be hardwood pulp or let it be agro pulp or something, the pulp mill per se used to have almost like 30 meter cube of water per ton. Today, those pulp mills are having only 8 to 10 meter cube of water. Point number 2. How that has happened? Because of the density of cooking, because of the automation controls which is happening in the cooking with respect to the temperatures and the pressure and the vessel conditions, then also the effective presses which are being utilized to squeeze it out, and then effective washing, then the bleaching technology. You can call it as oxygen delignification, then you can call it as elemental chlorine free, then the total chlorine free, then totally taking out the all extractable chemicals, everything, then giving a purely water pulp. And then which will give you the best brightness with the best strength. These are all the technology developments which has happened in the last 2 decades, to be very specific, starting from 1995 till today. These are all the developments which have happened. That means, whatever be the species which is coming in, cook it with the full automatic control, then squeeze it and then wash it with all efficiency, then bleach it with all the automatic controls, reducing the chemical consumption, not damaging the fiber, protecting the strength of the fiber, achieving the brightness of the sheet. In earlier, 20 years before, the papers which are made, highest brightness used to be at 82 or 83. Today people are talking about 95, 96. How is it possible? Everything doesn't come with chemical. So it is with the technology. The fiber remains the same. Wood remains the same, or the bagasse remains the same, or the vistra, the thing remains the same. But it's the technology which is helping you. That is where we talk about automation, control system, then artificial intelligence, or artificial intelligence is a name. It is basically the industrial internet of things, IIoT. And those type of automatic controls have been brought in the system, and that has given the pulp mill advancements.
What I meant to ask was, what is the most promising grade? Is it bagasse, is it banana stem, is it wheat straw? The most promising of all of the Indian residue materials.
Bagasse and wheat straw have already been established. There is no doubt about it that bagasse and wheat straw, today we are capable of making paper which compares very well with wood pulp paper. as Mr. Krishnan said that at least I am a very, very old man in paper industry. I started in early 80s when we used to use almost 300 tons of water per ton of paper, almost 1600 units of power per ton of paper, almost 15 tons of steam per ton of paper. Today we are down to about 30-40 cubic meters of water, about 700-800 units of power, about 4.5-5 tons of steam. So we have come a long way, and it was maybe a lighter vein. BIS at that time prescribed 68% brightness of paper, minimum brightness 68%, and we had to really kind of work very hard to meet 68% requirement, and with almost 15 to 16% chlorine consumption. Chlorine is a highly, let's say, undesirable chemical, but we used to almost 15-16% chlorine consumption. Today, out of wood and out of wheat straw and bagasse, we make 88-90% bright with 4 to 4% chlorine. Even certain mills have gone chlorine free also. So therefore, as far as bagasse and wheat straw is concerned, we are well established. There is, but new technologies keep on coming, but we compete well. The biggest issue, unfortunately, where we are still struggling, we started in 80s and gave up, that is use of rice straw. Rice straw is available in plenty, pan-India, every state grows rice, but somehow because of the limitation of fiber, despite best of effort, but yes, work is going on. Even CPPRI still is working very vigorously on that. That if not on writing printing paper, at least can it be used in packaging paper where requirement of brightness is not there, it need not be bleached. That is one fiber. Then some
papers in the seminar. Would you shed some knowledge on that?
In fact, there is a lot of input from the foreign delegates, lot of inputs. But I don't know, Doctor, do we have any foreign delegates as such? 4 to 5 for the time being. But going forward, we plan that in case they are not able to travel to India, we will have some digital access to their this thing on net, so that they can address from there. But there are good inputs from foreign delegates. And as far as the endorsement, you mentioned about the universities, CPPRI, that is Central Pulp and Paper Research Institute, that is based in Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh, and IIT Roorkee, they have a department of paper technology. Okay, they are also presenting papers. Like endorsement, you said, no, how they are doing. So we have 2 papers from CPPRI, and one of the gentlemen from Department of Paper Technology.
8 multinational companies who are participating. In the earlier points, which I have mentioned, this conference normally it is not only talking about the paper industry professionals. It is the Indian Pulp and Paper Technical Association. It is serving the paper industry as a knowledge platform. When we are serving the Indian pulp and paper industry, it is the pulp and paper industry professional, research institutions, and machinery manufacturers and chemical suppliers all are on the same platform. Because the pulp or the good quality pulp or the good quality paper, be it agro pulp or be it wood-based pulp, be it paper or packaging board, it is a collaboration from all these 4 areas. So all are going to be there. There are 5 foreigners, there are 8 multinational companies, and there are 2-3 research institutes. And the last question what you asked is how the papers are being validated. There are 12 to 14 Vice President Technical and Vice President Operations and the plant heads. And some of the people are from the paper industry from US as well, like publication and the people. They are all evaluating the papers, and the papers are the methodology that once you know, then you will understand what is the quality of the paper being presented and published. It is the member mills of the 780 or 800 paper mills which are operating in the country, they all have their CSR policies. Based on the net profit, the average net profit for the 3 years, 1.5%, which is being allocated for the 5 major areas. One is for education, the second one is for the health, third one is for the culture and heritage, and the fourth one is for the infrastructure development, fifth one is for the skill development. These are the five which is selected based on the Viksit Bharat type of thing, the upskilling the Indian workforce. Based on that, the mills are selected. Different mills have different area of spending of 20%, 30% or something. But majority, you see, all these four mills are doing a lot of things in and around that particular paper mill of 8 to 9 kilometer radius. They are doing a lot of CSR activity. Earlier it was mandatory. Today people are coming out willingly and then saying it, because every paper mill, if you talk about my paper mill, we talk about, my local community should be the local ambassador for me. Tomorrow when I go for expansion, when it is gone for a public hearing or something, those are the people should come forward and say, this mill is the livelihood for me. Then let them grow, please grow, we are happy. So they will become the local ambassadors for you. Earlier the days were like, for everything, for a drop of a hat, they used to sit at the gate, dharna, or against the paper mills. Today you tell me, because of the social forestry, Anilji was explaining the farm forestry, the location land, for the people to own and do the farming is because they understood that paper industry is sustainable. I think the paper industry deserves a clap and applaud for this. If nobody does it, I will do it for them. Because that is the reason. That is the reason the government. You would have read it. You would have read it just 20 days back or 30 days back in the internet. All uses. Now the notification is going to come. Identified lands are going to be allocated and we can do the greening. And already corporates started talking about railway lines, both the sides areas, and NHA, National Highway Authority of India, both the sides, how we are going to allocate those lands for green cover. You are going to see that in India within the next 10 years it will be green, green, green. That's because of the paper industry. I can proudly and confidently say.
Sir, how is IPPTA is supporting MLM, MPM revival, sir?
IPPTA is supporting.
Let me
IPPTA is a
clarify
knowledge
that
platform.
we do not intervene with the government policies because that is for our associations to do. IPPTA is purely a technical association. We kind of
It is a knowledge platform.
talk about technology. We don't interfere with government policy. Of course, as Bill, I'll do it through a different forum. I'll go to an association and talk about this, but not through IPPTA. And then talk about IPPTA, we do not even allow our technical presenters to.
Paper is going to play a very important role in replacing plastics and pollution, therefore, generated by plastics all over the country.
So, what message would you like to give, convey to the policy makers today?
To the policy makers.
Well, I would say that look at paper industry as a sustainable industry. It helps in promoting education, which is a very basic and fundamental right of all citizens of India. So without paper, education will not be able to move forward in the rightful manner, and paper industry does deserve recognition for it.
If we have to give it something to the policy makers in the government, we have only two requests. One is, we all know we are a fiber deficit. Net fiber import country is India. How do you make it fiber surpluses? Allot more and more lands, support more and more pulp and paper industry to grow trees, and then make it India as a fiber-rich country so that you have a level playing field with overseas manufacturers. Today, why we are talking about you put anti-dumping things? Because there it is very cheap, wood is very cheap, pulp is very cheap, $100 to $150 cheaper. And they dump the product with $80 to $100 cheaper. That's our product. We do not have a level playing field. So more and more you support deforestation, more and more you support the pulp and paper industry, and more and more let us protect our Indian local industry. Okay, I will not use the word restriction or anti-dumping or whatever it is. We have to protect the industry. Other countries are doing it. What US is talking about 50% tariff and 70% tariff, 60% tariff, it's all different political game and geopolitical scenario. I'm not getting into that. Like Japan is a more conservative economy. China is more conservative economy. They protect their country. They see that they are exponentially growing. And we need to be aggressive. Only talking about, made in India, made for the world and manufacturing excellence and things like that. We have to support manufacturing. Because the lifeline, like a farmers being the lifeline for this country, agro-based country, the manufacturing is the lifeline for any civilization and for any development of the country. So that is the message you would like to give. Thank you. The entire park is made by them. The entire approach is made by them. Median with all trees made by them. Then surrounding the railway station greenery is made by them. Then they got into a big interest. Then some of the people met the collector, village panchayat and other people. Then the collectors have called for a meeting. I was one of the person in the meeting. Then they said, can we do this? Can we do this for these schools, for these government hospitals, government these things. So we started doing it. It all done by the companies. IPPTA does not do. Okay? So it is an initiative taken by the member mills.
What is the issue of railway surcharge?
It's a 20% or something.
No, I don't understand.
That could be confined to some paper plants. IPPTA, we are the technical
IPPTA in any case
association.
doesn't interfere with government policies on taxation. Nothing we don't do as a body. We don't do
It's all done by the paper.
We are part of paper industry, so we are concerned about government policies. But for that, we have different associations. Like we have Indian Pulp, Indian Paper Manufacturers Association, IPMA. We have Indian Agro and Recycled Paper Mill Association. But as IPPTA as a platform, we don't interact with government on either taxation policies or import policies, export policies. We don't.
And we don't even influence that.
That is not our mandate.
The only
By the name itself, it's the technical association. Those are like manufacturer association.
We wear different hats. I am talking about not interfering with government policies, but once I go to the mills, I do protest with the government, I do interact with government on different forum as part of other associations, not as IPPTA. Not as